Okay. Back at it.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out. Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point.
Ah, right. I probably should have shot
Push
that
the
first.
hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
I used my
Janitor
leg.
let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already.
Maybe I shouldn't have been shooting everyone.
She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Control points. Control points are locations the Bureau has identified as being vital junctures of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by redacted detection of an unobstructed ping using the redacted within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures or redacted or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. Refer to file numbers for a full report.
hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
Well, okay then. Hiss agent. The hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons, preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing. Refer to file redacted for full report. By order of the directed, compiled by Emily Pope. Very quickly.
Jesse, over here. We need to make a plan, Jesse.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I guess I should have been killing them all.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it. Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
I'll have to shoot him in the face. Got it.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know.
To shoot people in the face.
Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Is that a file I see?
Look, I know this is all new to you. The hotline should be in the communications department.
Welcome to the oldest house.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No. No, just inside.
The source is internal then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily. You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. Yeah, you've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door. Okay. This Trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I'd need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah. Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the pure utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this? Got it. Thanks. So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
It seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Can't pull the gun. Can't pull the gun. For some reason. Alright, there's 3 people.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
Alright, that seems to be warning me not to go in there. Oop. The only person you should fail is yourself. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. Redacted deaths were reported, and the outgoing information has been managed. Event response. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which was reported to have been redacted. Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for redacted minutes. No visual phenomenon was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off, and the embassy staff was transported to the continental U.S. After Formula I-9 was sighted in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as an altered item. The item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. Don't see anyone else in here yet. Weapon mod. A file. Hiss barrier. The Hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. Two methods have been discovered for lowering them. 1. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. 2. Destroy the Hiss entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require the support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of Hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of Hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the Hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the Hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning? Refer to file redacted for full report. Due to recent fluctuations in the nearby control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Yellow, stable, or low possibility of unanticipated building shift. Orange, high likelihood. Red, frequent unanticipated. Dead letters. Ah, there you are. Machine God. I had a dream and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know or the ones anyone knows. A new God. This machine will be his body, his heart, and his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator and the coils from my toaster and the fans, plus the timing belt for my car's engine and the wheels for my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby but in a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. I think I'll go a different direction. How do I get up there? Ah, like that. Very good.
It's overpowering here. You don't want me anywhere near it. With you on that.
Oh, okay. I guess I will be going this way. Dead letter approval. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. P. Bartwell. Subject of departmental approval. Ah, come on. Okay. Oop. Alright, back up here to try and find some health. Correspondent, singing fish. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never came to my house. I got a problem and you got to send folk to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish. It sings when you hit a button. But it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs. Says lots of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish and you got to come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. Energy recovery.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
That's significantly less impressive than this. Ah, can't exit because of door. Back to normality.
Communications. We're on the right track.
Fast travel, huh? Welcome to the comms department. Let's say hi and welcome our new people. Step away. If you have any questions, please ask one of our friendly staff. Electronics, see Bob in maintenance. That's some job security. Wasn't the janitor's name Frank, though? It's always the second stall door that's closed. You're not dead, I hope.
An object of power. Looks like the Hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
Oh, now it tells me how to crouch. That was not the correct direction. Still don't have clearance. Nothing useful. Gotcha.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in Bureau Seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Very nice. Thingamajig. Nice. I appreciate the auto aim. No cover for you. Paranatural powerhouse.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off. I got it. Just like you wanted, right? This was...
Oop, I should probably not stand on the explosives. Ah, dang it. That was unfortunate. I mean, I just told myself not to stand on the explosives. Oh, dang it. Collect all that health. Man, I'm going to be able to destroy things so much more efficiently now. The power of gun. Oh, I can't do anything with that. It's cocked shut. Huh. Energy recovery speed. Nice. Hiss demolition expert. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. Hiss demolition experts are the only observed Hiss variants to wield the specially built rocket-propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track entities once fired, making them a threat whose termination should be prioritized in combat scenarios. I find it remarkable that the Hiss restrict usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel who train specifically for its use. What does this tell us about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still too many unknowns. Refer to file redacted for full report. The Rangers are the Bureau's well-trained and well-armed expeditionary forces. Their Hiss-corrupted counterparts are equally formidable. Prior to corruption, Rangers were trained to use a variety of weapons in order to face any threat found during AWE response or threshold exploration, including submachine guns, assault rifles, and automatic shotguns. Hiss Rangers utilize these weapons as well as the advanced tactics taught by Bureau instructors. Some are additionally outfitted with Bureau-made body armor. Hiss Rangers have no observed paranatural abilities beyond some being protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance capable of stopping bullets. Considering the advanced training the Hiss Rangers are capable of applying to their situation, is it feasible to consider the human mind still remains intact to some degree? Or is the Hiss able to tap into this combat training and utilize it? Further observation is required. Refer to file redacted for full report. Floppy disk. Must be contained in a cell with no other loose material. This object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. When bound, the object allows paralitarians to telekinetically lift material and throw it a short distance. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.15 for more information. The object is currently bound for research purposes. Stolen from a Soviet military base located by agents and with the CIA. This diskette contains launch codes to missiles believed to be reserved for use against. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. An informant at the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and it was requisitioned by agents the next day. Whew. Emergency phone. A health. I should probably not stand next to explosives.